It should be from Apparition.
Oh yeah!
Sorry.
Honestly. Okay, so let's jump in.
Yeah.
So we're here with Stealing Sheep at Hoxton Hall in London, in Hoxton.
On a very hot day.
On a very hot day, the hottest day so far. You've come down from Liverpool, so it must be pretty tropical. Maybe.
It's more tropical here, yeah. That's what you mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really tropical. Yeah.
And you're playing tonight, but it's not your average gig, is it? It's what's going on? It's Sophia
Club.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation about feminist futures. So mainly discussing in a positive way. We're talking about utopia, feminist utopia. So there's loads of women on stage chatting.
So there's talks as well as music
and then us performing.
In the little tracks.
I was here for the sound check and it's sounding and looking amazing.
Thanks.
Looking forward to it. First question, I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, so maybe briefly, like, are you friends? Did you join? How did it all begin?
We all know each other from like playing loads of music around Liverpool. So the music scene is really great, and there's loads of stuff going on. So that's how we know each other.
Actually, my second question was like, did you come out of a scene, and if so, what's it like in Liverpool, the community, or the scene?
We were all in quite different scenes. So back it's like 15 years going back now.
Yeah.
So we were all in our own different scenes, and that was kind of what was interesting, because we all kind of came together to join Becky in the Sheep and do a tour and start writing together. So we brought our own material in, our own things, and actually it was the amalgamation of the kind of like three quite different people that kind of made what it is.
So was it Becky? Was your baby to start with, kind of thing, and you came along. So Becky,
your baby,
Luciana,
yes,
Emily, just
introduce.
And now we're all the parents.
Yes, indeed, we share the child together, right?
Yeah.
So how do you
the beast?
Yeah. So how do you get from nothing to like a finished song?
Oh, so please somebody tell me.
We haven't really figured that one out. I think it's different for everyone. That journey is different for everyone.
And for every song.
Yeah. And for me, there isn't one size that fits all.
Yeah.
Each one, like maybe I'll start with a tempo. And then bass and drums, build it up from there.
Right.
But then sometimes I've started with words, guitar, and then work downwards like that. So I cannot predict what's going to happen.
Sure.
And then some people though, that they can hear it, they've got a vision, and they just go, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
But, I love the. I always refer back to like the thing, something David Lynch said, of course. But the genius he was. He basically, I just really remember that he said that imagine like there's a wall and that somebody like got a painting, ripped it all up and threw it over the wall, and then you're on the other side of the wall catching pieces of a pre-existing kind of like puzzle, essentially.
Right.
And so like when you're writing a song, you kind of know there's a wrong piece of the puzzle when you get to it. But then when something's right, it just fits. And so you're like, it's almost like your job is like gardening. You're editing.
But all the bits
are the
part of the puzzle, but they're
right bits of the puzzle.
It's putting the jigsaw together.
And putting the jigsaw together. Especially, I find it with lyrics as well. That's just like some words just, they are the right word.
Yeah.
But they just don't sound right at all.
Yeah.
You've got to find,
Oh, as in like,
it.
it's what you want to say,
Yeah.
but it isn't fitting in with the song or that particular part of it.
I get really obsessed with the puzzle. Like, there's a right way of doing this. There's a way that works really well, but I'm like trying really hard. And sometimes then you try too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That
Yeah.
is the
And then you end up just
killer,
going,
isn't it?
oh, throw it
Yeah.
back over the wall.
Yeah.
Blocked that way, right? Yeah, but you all bring different things and you all write as part of it.
Yeah.
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 We generally each direct a song, so we kind of, there's a kind of sort of some form of ownership over like the lead role of a song,
Yeah.
and it's sort of what comes mainly from one person's vision, but not always, but most of the time it's kind of directed.
Yeah.
But then we take it in turns to be that director, and then occasionally we'll just make something and it just feels really balanced and
Yeah.
it's all of us.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
on our new album there's a few tracks that we wrote more as a group, but no, like
Yeah.
the old days when we first began, was that quite collaborative, and I'm going to do this and I'm
Yeah.
going to do that, you know. So that's
It was
it's
written
nice, actually.
mainly in a responsive way in the studio with our producer Joe,
Right. Okay.
who we've worked with since the dawn of time.
Since time began.
Okay.
So he
Okay.
knows us all. He knows all of our personalities, our egos, or whatever. He just
Yeah.
He sort of like balances it.
That's the
Some-
He's the
producer,
chef.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are
He's
you're the food?
We're the food.
You're the-
With
you're the bits-
flavours,
you're the
with
ingredients,
with
yeah.
Spice Girls.
Ah. Well, there's more to food than spice.
Yeah, that's
You've got all
true.
sorts
I'm
going on.
umami.
Ah, of course.
Ooh,
What
she's
spice are
the
you?
umami. I don't know what. I think I'm more of a sugary kind
No.
of flavour.
No.
Maybe cardamom. I hate
Oh.
that I just said that. By the way.
Is cardamom sugary?
Yeah,
It's
anyway,
sweet.
it's like
Oh, it's-
we're just a mixture. We're all changing all the time.
We're all
The-
we're
just
all a
we're all
spectrum of
flavours.
flavours.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I mean, if you have
I
one.
was just going to say I'd probably be the chips.
That's a good one.
So it's a
Nobody-
curry with chips.
Nobody doesn't
Yes,
like chips.
So
Yeah, that's true. But I
Yeah.
just said,
It's
but you
so
know, I think,
easy.
yeah, it's, yeah.
cardamom is like, you don't want to chew a whole one, but it's like, it adds
I
a
retract
beautiful thing.
that
No,
statement.
no, it's a good one because it's so,
They're good
it's
in
nothing
coffee
like
as
it.
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
and
you
when-
do the split and then you put it in.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Fancy.
the cardamom is pretty, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good.
So Apparition, this is how I discovered you, ladies. I think my friend's mum might have known the director or something, and she posted it on Facebook.
Dougal.
Hmm?
Dougal Wilson.
Yes,
Let's
possibly.
plug Dougal Wilson.
Dougal Wilson. Great video, amazing song. I was honestly completely obsessed with it.
And he just did Paddington 3.
First
He's made
Ian
it.
Sheep and now Paddington 3, huh?
Yeah, first
Yeah.
year
He's not
he
going
did.
to be answering the phone to us anymore.
Yeah,
He's
they were
got-
Put it
like,
that way.
the people who did Paddington were like, oh, I see you've done Stealing Sheep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you're going
yeah.
to get the job.
They were like, interesting. Apparition!
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Before
we're
that,
talking,
it was just like IKEA.
Nah, corporate rubbish.
Exactly.
So basically, I was going through like a really hard breakup at the time, and I listened to it like back to back a few times every single day for about a year. I was obsessed with it, and I wanted to know if it is about a breakup at all.
Well, it's about. Can I just kind of like cast my mind back a little bit? So it was actually about how you're your own worst enemy. You know, like breaking the storm. There's those thingy days, halcyon days, and like those clarity the days at the sea when it's like really, really peaceful and
Yeah.
still, and then there's
Yeah.
like a storm.
Yeah.
So I was getting into kind of because I quite think about visually quite a lot about how it should look or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I wrote it. You know, we wrote it together. It wasn't just me. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't have the trouble chorus without bets
Yeah.
and things. So you know, it was just it was a group effort. But it was about that. But I
Yeah.
think it could be interpreted for loads of things. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's about reflecting on who you are and what mistakes you've made, or and are you the problem?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I did
That's
that
art, right?
mistake
I mean-
as well. That was actually a
Was that-
mistake. That
But
But
Yeah,
then
but that gave it like a folk.
it became something.
That was like the Morris dancing folk
Yeah.
slick dance that you brought in.
Okay.
Subliminal.
Yeah, so a version of my ex-girlfriend was following me around in my dreams, and it was
Oh,
like, it
really?
totally was like,
Oh, wow.
I'm sure it was
No,
about
but
the
it
same
is-
thing, you know?
But it is about an apparition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of like something.
Are you
that's
disappointed?
Like, I let you down.
Maybe a little bit, but also it's. I love the fact that the art is interpretational, and you can't tell someone what your song
Yeah.
should be
How to
taken
impact,
as, right?
yeah.
Because what do we know?
Yeah.
Or
Not-
you know what we're even saying some of the time.
Well, you know, it's
It's about
also
how the art. Yeah, the audience are just as much part of it.
yeah, and it's also just like I think sometimes you're saying something in a song, but you're also saying loads of things. You're not just saying this one. Oh, it's
Yeah.
that.
I like
Yeah.
it when the lyrics are more of a stream of consciousness and they're like, it's not just one linear path of like a story and it's just about that one thing.
Yeah.
It's like much more about like your subconscious and like that. When you're dreaming, there's like bits of everything that you're experiencing all coming into the song, and I quite
Yeah.
like it when it has that 3D.
You can then listen to
Yeah.
it again and get different things from it
Yeah.
as well, right?
Yeah.
You in that video, I was just like, the second verse starts and you're standing there doing it, and I'm just like, she's like an infinite pixie from like the universe, and all-knowing. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for
She is.
confirming. You just look like you see and know everything.
Yeah, I did in that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then
that-
inside
Yeah,
got
and then
everything.
it's gone. Yeah. It's just amazing. It's just a great. I
You
was
are very
obsessed.
wise though, in like deep wisdom.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Good, that's
I
it.
think when you can hit a drum like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's how you hit it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everyone can hit it like that.
Yeah.
If
The
you're
drumming
miming,
thing.
actually.
Yeah. So when I you know, obsessed with the song, and then I went on YouTube to check some of your gigs out,
Yeah.
and I was really surprised how you replicate that song and your sound live, and I wondered if it's like that's how you record. It's like, well, has to be able to be translatable on stage.
Gone through different phases of wanting it to be exactly like the record and
Yeah.
then wanting it to be completely different.
Right.
So it depends which chapter you sort of enter the sheep on, because we've like redone like whole albums as like a disco jam
Yeah.
for live, because we've got bored of playing it the way it was
Yeah.
supposed to be, so we rewrote it for a different kind, like more like
just
a
love-
medley.
Yeah.
Giving ourselves lots of work to do.
We get bored really quickly, it seems.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're entertained.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know what the audience wants to hear. Is it better to hear it the way that it should, like you've heard it on the
Yeah.
record, or?
I know, as someone who's been in an audience, there are times when you're like, oh. And then all
I
the times you're like,
generally-
oh wow, I know this song I've heard. And let's say the fans who go to your gigs a lot would probably appreciate
It being the same?
No, being different.
Oh right, yeah. I went
Yeah.
to
Maybe.
an early Sia gig,
Yeah.
and the music video, the poster, were exactly the same as what she came into the Liverpool Arts Bar or wherever it was to do.
Yeah.
And she had like exactly the same tone of lipstick on. It was just so accurate to
Yeah.
like what had been advertised that it was extremely satisfying.
Oh, it was satisfying.
It was.
Yeah.
It was just like that's what I want. What I came to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's something to learn from that as well. But
I like hearing all the parts in some.
we need to go on
sense.
stage.
I like seeing it as it is, but I like just hearing how it sounds as a real thing played. I like seeing people playing.
Yeah.
But then I also just like a mixture,
Yeah.
theatre or like theatrical or like talking or just different all kinds
Yeah.
of things.
In clubbier things, like when you're at more of a live rave band or whatever,
Yeah.
and they just start dropping hints. Like,
Oh, the bit that's coming up.
I need you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you just hear like, oh, that song's
Yeah,
coming,
yeah.
and they
Yeah,
draw
yeah.
it out for ages, and you're
Yeah.
just like getting psyched, and then
Yeah.
they'll tease you, and then they'll just put something else on.
Yeah.
That really is
That's on the tour, isn't it?
it's like,
It's been so long since I've seen anyone. Now I find you, and it feels good, 'cause it's been so long since I've seen anyone. Now I found you, and it feels so good. On my phone looking for you. Airplane mode. I spent so long looking for you. Lost in the crowd, praying for a sign. Your mind going round, 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 round. The stage lights up, think I see you. Na, 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 na.
You know, your look, your costumes, your artwork. How do you come up with that? And also, you know, there's a definite, especially after seeing, particularly tonight, and you will see it with the clips, particularly a theatrical kind of show with moves and all that. How do you come up with that, all that stuff?
It's quite an organic process. We'll start with one idea, and then we'll each kind of just come up with more ideas along the way.
Yeah,
And we like pushing ourselves and being different as well.
yeah.
I was going to say, it's like a dung beetle.
Yeah.
yeah.
So get that. No, like,
Yeah.
but it is that one thing leads
A
to
dung
another.
beetle carrying cardamoms in its hands.
But like, for example, you do pick up a new thing at each gig, or go, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, so we're never going to say
Those
that.
trousers, my trip,
Yeah.
these trousers, they've got to
Oh,
go.
we've had some terrible moments. We've had
Yeah.
some great moments too.
Yeah.
I mean, you
have that.
often have crazy idea. I don't know. You see your instruments,
They were problematical.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But worth it to look cool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
definitely have
walked
a
into
lot of style
curtains, just
and
gorgeous
coolness.
curtains, just going, somebody.
I
just
remember
like,
wearing
get
some like ski glasses kind of thing, and with the stage light in, all I could see was my eyes reflected
Oh,
back
wow.
at me.
Oh my! Can you imagine? It's like performing in front of a mirror.
Yeah, it was weird. They were
Yeah.
like mirrored, kind of like.
Yeah.
It was absolutely.
Well,
weird.
Lucy,
Did you keep them on?
Yeah, I kept them
Yeah.
on. I was just total pro.
She's
I was
true
just
to
like
them.
looking at the floor.
Yeah. Well, Lucy, you know, she's from Margate, saw us at Where Else, when we had those
Where
star
else? Yeah.
suits on. We
Oh,
had,
yeah, when we almost got strangled to death.
we had these giant, like they were massive. They basically filled the venue with these like inflatable stars.
Yeah.
And they each had like almost like these pointy boobs that kind of came out into the crowd. You
Yeah.
fell off the stage?
Yeah, and they were kind of made like a cylinder kind of, so you couldn't have any arms. They were just kind of made like that.
Yeah, you
And so
had
we-
to
our-
be.
our dance
Oh, you were
was
wearing
just-
them?
Yeah, we were
Oh, I
inside.
see.
So all the spokes are coming out like that and like tickling all the people's faces.
Right.
And I just went boing straight off and just
Yeah.
had to go on the floor
It was-
like
Forgot
that.
about that.
It was
So
horrible
it was
to be in the suits, but for the audience,
Yeah.
it was mesmerising.
Well, that's
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And how did you get them made?
Our friend, we've got loads of friends in Liverpool that are amazing prop makers,
Right.
costume makers,
There you
and
go,
like these
yeah.
costumes that we're wearing tonight
Yeah.
were made for us by this
You can see them in
amazing
the
costume designer.
reflection.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ellie.
yeah. Ellie.
Ellie.
Ellie
You got- you got that
Coolgreen.
in. Cool.
Stuck in your routine. You're just a machine. You don't feel the same. You know something's gotta change. The grass is always greener. Being such a dreamer.
Luciana,
Yeah.
what is your purpose as an artist?
Um, to share the experience.
Yeah.
I like the sharing
Yeah.
and spending time with the musician making something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, as a performer, sharing something with the audience, you sharing a time.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
You're the first person who's answered like straight away rather than going, you know your purpose. Yeah. And Rebecca.
To take over the world. No,
If he's being honest.
I mean, no. I think it's always, for me, it's about, I just want to connect the music to something and like have a vehicle for expressing all the madness of the world, and like the stage and the working with these two is the best way of doing that for me.
Okay. Emily?
Pretty much what they said.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's like communication, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like sometimes I struggle to communicate. So sometimes music or art's like the best way, and that is just basically wanting to connect and I love sharing I really love sharing that with people because I wouldn't want to. I love playing music on my own, but I like it when there's other people to respond with. So
the other people are part of it, right? I mean, we could all sit in our bedrooms playing on our own, but it's the connection, right?
Yeah,
sharing.
totally.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.
Have an amazing show.
Thanks,
cheers.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
I just feel like we want to be in a space where we can just keep being creative. We're always fighting for that. We're fighting capitalism every day just by trying to be creative and like trying to make money out of what we do to survive. But also remain true within it is the fight. Like we've never understood how to be commercially successful. It's not how our brains work. So, we do what we do and we fight for that. And if we can live in a world where we can all just be ourselves, I suppose that's what we're fighting for.